Hey, I am back finally. It has been, I think, almost like 2 weeks since I did my last weekly trade review, and that's because I have not been at home. I was in Texas doing some property inspections, and well, the time that I was there, it did not permit for me to hop on the markets. As you can see, my last trade I took was on March 28th. So about 2 weeks, which was, it didn't feel right. If I'll say the whole time I was there, I was definitely just reminiscing and just thinking about getting back home and doing my routine. But I will say it was quite the experience. So doing property inspections for HUD, which is a part of a government thing, but pretty much what I had to do was go into these houses and take pictures. And the thing about these houses are that they're in the worst conditions, like trashed. And it just didn't feel right going into them. I didn't really feel the safest, I guess you would say. You don't know if there's squatters going to be in there or whatnot, but definitely an experience. And, at the time, I definitely was, how do I say this? Not happy. I was telling myself, why did I get into this? Why am I doing this to myself? But if there was one thing that I did learn from my little trip down there, it's that when you put yourself in situations where, you feel the most uncomfortable, you kind of realize that you have like an extra battery that you haven't unlocked. It's you go into overdrive and it feels like you're growing in a sense. And it might not have felt like that in that moment, but when I got home and realized how grateful I was to be living in Orange County and whatnot, I took a moment to reflect and realized how important it was for me to go down there to explore how far I can push myself. I went 2 weeks without, being at home, which was kind of gnarly, right? Like I went by myself. Well, I went with two of my other colleagues and whatnot, but it was a situation where we had to leave really unexpectedly. It was on Wednesday, I think the first or something like that. I don't remember. Wednesday, right after work, leave at 8. We drove there, which took about 21 hours, and then we got to Texas on Friday, and then we started the inspections. So definitely it was a crazy challenge, a crazy business trip, but at the end of the day, it was worth it. And it probably was something God had to put me through in order for me to grow. And maybe also to even appreciate the things that I have now, because I definitely come back and, every day I'm just extremely grateful for the stuff that I have. And especially growing up in Orange County, I'm very grateful to have what I have and being able to grow up here and reside here. Everything's a lot cleaner, safer, just having my bed, it's just the little things that you take for granted that you realize how important it is to remain grateful, because at any point in time that can be taken away. So all thanks to God for putting me through that. But anyways, going back to this week, my mindset for this week was just to get back on track, just to get back in routine. I didn't journal for 12 days or however many days that I was gone. I didn't get to go to church for that for about I didn't get to go to church for the week. And I also did not wake up early. Like, in Texas, I was just every day was work. It was wake up at 9, 10, do my work, do the property inspections, and then after hop online and do my just regular valuation work, and then enjoy the night with the brothers, which it was good, but I will say it's not for me. I very much enjoy my routine being home, and just, once I'm done with doing my work, I get the time to myself. And yeah. Anyways, that's what this week's focus was. It was just to get back into routine. And I think I did a very good job at doing that. Um, and something I also know I wanted to know before we get into this was I know the last 12 days from before the 14th, I heard I just from taking a peek at the markets, conditions just look really terrible. Like you had Trump talking about tariffs. lots of volatility. Markets were trading -5% every single day. So I think those things were obviously it happened in the market, but taking this trip also could have been a blessing in disguise to prevent me from, potentially taking terrible trades within those market conditions, or who knows. But definitely very grateful. Things happen for a reason. The stars align for a reason. I believe in, the universe really putting you in the right spot at the right time, even if you don't see it in that moment. But that's that's kind of how it feels, and I'm grateful to be back and to be in the saddle, ready to continue on with my trading journey and collect some more data, because that's all trading is. Trading is just collecting data samples every single day. Can you keep it consistent? Can you focus on taking the next 10 perfect trades? I guarantee you that's being profitable right there. It's just having the mindset of being able to collect data for your strategy. If I can maintain that mindset every single day, in which I will, I mean, just reinforce it every single day, then profitability comes. And I have been seeing that over the last couple months. Just focus on taking the setups that will be good, that are crucial to adding to your trading journal. The experience that you gain from it is extremely important. And losses are inevitable. That's one thing. Failures are good. I think something that we need to, at least I am working on rewiring, is just accepting that failures are good. Society has always portrayed the word failure to have such a negative connotation, but I just remember one of my teachers explaining that this acronym, and it's so cliche, but it's something I still think of every single time. But when you fail, it's the first attempt in learning. If you can somehow associate a positive connotation to failing, then you're bound to be successful, right? So every single loss, there's a lesson. You learn a lot less from your wins, and there's a reason for that, right? And so this week, I did not take any lessons. There were no um, important lessons, at least that reflected in the P&L, but a lot of opportunities the market presented to really test my profitable edge, to test my profitable self. And that's why there was only one trade this week. So this could be a really short one, or I can go on a spiel. I don't know. Depends on what pops up in my mind, right? I love just kind of freestyling it, if you want to call it that. But the only trade I took happened on Monday, right? Coming into Monday, I was very, like I said, just trying to get back into routine. So I was definitely de-risked. I did not want to trade on my personal account. I was open to trading my funded account and obviously the combine. But for this trade, I actually only took it on the combine. And the reason being, even though this was such a high quality setup, but in my mind, I knew that a part of me felt not rushed, but how do I word this? Felt like I needed to get back into the saddle really quick and make a couple bucks. But I told myself, no, you're gonna do this the slow way, the steady way. You're gonna go in. What's you're gonna go in with a mindset trying to figure out what taking trades on which accounts are gonna have me feel the least resistance if the trade fails. And I knew that I didn't really feel comfortable trading the live account or the funded account. So I de-risked, kept it on the combine, which is totally fine. Right. And that's what I did. I did a very good job. And this trade actually played out very beautifully. And yeah, so starting off, we'll go ahead and go with the daily. The daily. So structure wise, we were trading below. Oh, that's the hourly actually. I'll get the daily. Oh, 4 hour. Okay. Starting off with the 4 hour, very obvious move to the downside. We're trading in a downtrend. We did see a slight market structure shift, but we're trading within this range. This is the high. The lows were down here, but there's an internal high that we had taken out, but we found this general area to be resistance. Price attempted to push higher and failed, moved lower. Price was attempting to push higher again and then failed twice more on the 4 hour. So candle behavior wise, we did see a previous 4 hour close bearish, not a type 1 or a type 2, just a previous 4 hour close bearish. So what can we anticipate? We can anticipate price to push up in the first half of the 4 hour candle or the first couple minutes of the 4 hour candle, and then look to flip to continue the move to the downside. The 1 hour, the previous 1 hour did close bullish, but structure wise, we were showing signs of rejection, right? We have one attempt to move up, we failed. Two attempts to move up, fail. Three, each candle bar attempt to move up fails. So although we don't have the 1 hour candle behavior closing in our favor, we do have structure showing to us, telling us that price is having a hard time moving higher. And this was the other screenshot. Nice. And then zoomed in, right? Perfect. And then we go in on the 30-minute. Obvious downtrend, right? Very obvious. So right now we're kind of seeing all the stars align right here. 30-minute showing the same exact picture, right? And then if we zoom in right here, we also kind of get like a little shift in structure. Price attempts to move up. We're kind of trending higher. We attempt to take out these highs, but we fail. And then we close below this level with a type 2 bearish, also kind of showing a type 3 shift in structure on the 30-minute, right? And then we also have the previous 30-minute closing type 1 bearish right here, this little pin candle or whatever you want to call it. So we're expecting the first 15 minutes to move up and then flip lower. But here's the best part. 15-minute overall structure, same thing, right? You're kind of drifting higher. Yeah, get the point. 15-minute. You also have a fractal type 3 as well. You have this up move, shift in structure, and we get a 15-minute type 1 with a key level right here. So now we're expecting the first half of this 15-minute candle to put in that upper wick and flip lower. So the more time frames that you have that align with you, the higher the probability of the trade. And guess what? We have, it's just perfect. Look at how perfect this is. 5-minute shift in structure, break these lows. You're getting the pullback on this 5-minute. You don't want to get in just like, let's say if you were to take a trade on the 5-minute, or you're looking to take a trade on the 5-minute. You don't want to just get in at some random area of interest. You want to see confirmation, right? So that's why we go in down to the lower time frame on the 1-minute. But we see the 5-minute pushing up, have that type 3 shift. We get a strong bearish candle close, closing beyond this level with a type 2 bearish in the 5-minute. We can anticipate the first half of the new 5-minute candle to put in an upper wick, in which we did. And it was just overall a beautiful trade. And once that 8 o'clock candle hit, 8 o'clock candle open, I set my limit orders right here at this previous 15-minute level and along with a 5-minute type 2 level, had stops above the highs and just wrote that down. You also get a nice 1-minute type 3 shift as well. So everything was fractal, everything played out perfectly. And we had our take profit one right here, which was a previous, I believe a previous 30-minute level. It might have been a 5-minute level. Previous 5-minute level right around here, right? Which I decided to just move stops to break even because I felt comfortable holding this. We had all of the time frames just aligning. We timed it perfectly. There's no point in trying to scale out, if anything. And we had all 7 time frames just aligned, and I was looking to extend targets. Ideally, this would have been my final target down here, but my mindset was it's the first trade back. Let's just focus on rebuilding our confidence and executing our edge. And at this time, despite us having a win, I like just forgetting about the outcome, extremely process minded, was just focused on waiting for the right setups to show up to me, and patience did pay, right? We had the 1 hour or the 1-minute, 5, 15, 30, and 4 hour working in our direction. We also have we have the type 1, type 2, and type 3 forming, and all of the types: 1 minute type 3, 5 minute type 2, 15-minute, and 30-minute type 1. Very great trade. This is considered the perfect trade for me in my books. And I think I did a good job just having that be the only trade of the week. And yeah, I truly like I have so much confidence now knowing that my strategy does play out. And for the rest of this weekend, I am planning on looking to just review over my trades over the last month to see what are some key takeaways, even though I've already reviewed, but there's always something that you can learn and hopefully just continue to grow and get better. And that's what trading is about. You just want to get better every single day. And whether the market presents that opportunity for you to take the trade, or it presents the opportunity for you to not present you a trade, but how well can you sit on your hands and remain patient? As long as you can just focus on that every single day and make it a habit, you're profitable. And that's all it is. But that's going to be the trade review for the week. Um, Definitely a great trading week. I look forward to sizing up next week, increasing risk. And what I mean by that is trading my other accounts if the markets present that opportunity, focused only on opportunities. Losing is inevitable, and we'll see that the market presents some stuff in our favor. But with that being said, that's going to be the end of the trading video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys the next trading recap.